Okay, so now we're on part 3 of the 6-part Depression Wellness Coloring Workbook, brought to you by my Recovery Tapping blog spot here. So if you click here, you can pull down the PDF and it'll open up like that. And what you're going to learn today is my favorite part. It's all about the grapes, the daily grapes. So think of it as having your daily grapes. I got this also from Lynn Northrup in San Diego, but I advanced it a little. I added to it, so to say. So anyway, the grapes idea is to design a daily routine that adds wellness and adds things that neuroscience tells us that helps our brain, helps our neural networks for health and wellness to grow. So the grapes are designed to cover all of the basic human needs required for health and wellness and healing and moving forward. One little nano baby step at a time. So there's no big push or rush to change your whole routine around. There is no hurry. You just want to do one thing tomorrow. Do one thing on your pleasurable activities list tonight or tomorrow. Okay, and then you just grow from there. So don't worry about it. You're going to learn how to easily create your own grapes routine because you make it up, you make it easy, you make it fun at first. So you have a whole list of stuff you really like to do and you know that would be helpful for you. Pick the easiest one to do and just do that one today. See, and then tomorrow do one that feels fun or easy. Sometimes you do have to just do it whether you feel like doing it or not, because it's the experience of it that kicks in the endorphins, and it's the afterwards, after the experience, you feel better and you're always happy that you did it. Okay, so you learn how to easily create your own little daily routine. You're going to also learn, well, I'm going to give you the worksheet to brainstorm your grapes and what the grapes mean. I'm going to go over that right now. You're going to get, one of my clients drew a big bunch of grapes so that you can color that, but also you can write in words or phrases and maybe even put it up on the wall somewhere at home and it'll remind you. Remember, neuroscience tells us that the more you do, the more your fulcrum will balance. As wellness increases, there will be relief of depression. Keep it up. It's accumulative. A great handout I give everyone is called 81 Ideas for Self-Nurturing. I got that in somewhere in San Diego recovery classes or somewhere. You just first you go through and you check off all your favorite ones, and then every week you want to add one into your life. I'll go into in detail when we slide through. This is just what we're going to learn coming up right now. Create your top 10 list of pleasurable activities handout, a tracking sheet handout, and just remember there's no mistakes. Just, try it for today and see yourself tomorrow doing what you can. All right, so the first page of part 3 is basically what the grapes stand for, and they're designed, each 6 of these are designed to cover all the basic human needs. And so the G, you can do one or either of these two, or you could just do one. So you either want to have a goal or you want to do some action activity for your personal growth each day, which could mean reading a couple pages out of a book that is adding to your personal growth. It could be anything. Your goal could also be anything. It could be to learn something. It could be to decrease depression. It could be to get a job. It could be to do more exercises, more, a month from now than you did last month. it can be any kind of goal, but you have to have some kind of goal that each day you work towards that goal, or some kind of personal growth that each day you work towards your personal growth. Say 5 minutes minimum to cover your G. From there, your R is, rewarding your recovery, doing something recovery, or giving yourself a reward, or do it however you want to. Whatever your questions are, the answers are basically yes. Can I do reward if I do recovery? Yes. Can I just reward myself for doing my goal? Yes. Can I just do recovery and not reward myself? Yes. You can do whatever you want. But these are to remind you of the basic wellness, categories to work with to cover your needs. So A is accomplish an action today. Just any kind of accomplishment or take any kind of action. Check, you've done your A and your grapes today. So each day you want to do each one of these and check them off the list so that you just, get it covered. P is personal pleasure. Something personal, something pleasurable. This can be any number of things, and if you ask me if it could be this or that, I'm going to say yes, of course, because it can be anything you want it to be. It's just something on a personal level that you really like, or some pleasure you want to get lost into, but giving yourself pleasure and doing something where you're attending to yourself or going within is very important for self-nurturing. Of course, E is energy, exercise. So you can do any kind of exercise, or you can do some energy work, or both would even be better. But if you can't exercise, do lazy man's exercises. Like if you're a couch potato, why don't you stretch your arms on the commercials or something? Or start walking, or whatever exercise you want to do. But you can also do some energy moves like Donna Eden's 5-minute daily energy routine would be awesome. You'll feel a lift in energy. You won't feel quite as fatigued. Especially if you do it every day. If you do any kind of tapping or just tap on your chest bone is the one kind of lazy man's tapping. You just tap on your chest bone 20 to 30 times. By then, you just naturally take a nice deep breath and you're starting to just feel energy sometimes through your arms and fingers, or just feeling better and you're breathing better. So there's lots of energy stuff you could do. Acupressure, tapping, exercise, qigong, ride your bike, walk, whatever you want to do. Walk down to the store and get your reward, and that's your personal pleasure, and then you took an action and that was your goal. And then S is social support. Social support can be anything between, like, of course, going to a support group, either in person or online, or just saying hi to people that you see on the street or at the store or at work or at school or in the neighborhood or whatever. Social support could be reading self-help books, because you're still getting awesome information and affirmation, validation, and support from, someone out there wrote it, and they know a bunch of people who have what you have, so you don't feel quite as alone. So this is for your social needs, and that helps balance isolating and resisting and having low motivation and stuff. So you pick one easy thing to cover each of the letters of grapes, okay? Just one thing. And then each day, you basically set out to try to hit all your GRAPES. If you don't beat yourself up. The next day you get to start over and try to do GRAPES again. You can have it half-assed 4 weeks and weeks, but at least you've got something in there and you have something to follow, and it'll improve over time because now you're going somewhere instead of just downhill. You're moving forward. I tried to do all my daily grapes every day for 30 days. I still haven't done it yet, but I've been doing grapes, for years, and I get a lot of them done. But getting them all done 30 days in a row has been a challenge in some areas. So what? I keep doing them. So here's your grape picture. You can color. You can use the big grapes to write about what grapes is your daily routine, to remind you, like on your refrigerator, here's the grape seed every day, something like that. We wanted to make it kind of cute. And then a worksheet to actually list all the things that could be goals for you or personal growth, and all the things that could be recovery actions or rewards for yourself, all your accomplishments and actions you could take. And then just every time you do one, check it off, check it off, check it off. It'll be great when you see this whole tracking sheet and make copies for future use. But when you see this with a bunch of checks in it, and you're going to be feeling better than you do now before you started doing it, it's very self-motivating to continue adding things and then continue doing them, and it's fun. And before you know it, you're moving towards goals, you're thinking about other goals, and all those symptoms we talked about in video 1 start to decrease, and your wellness and happiness increase. And the neuroscience around all this is, see, these are self-nurturing activities. These 2 sheets here, they're called the 81 ideas for self-nurturing. Sorry, it cut off, and I'm sorry that it's crooked, and I can't get into fancy videos right now, but the content is, awesome. Hopefully you can use it. It's helpful for you. But anyway, the neuroscience is, so all these pleasurable self-nurturing things, when people do them, afterwards, they feel good. Why? Because the brain is relaxing, the neural networks in the brain are getting stronger, the amygdala's calmed down, so it's not shooting out the anxiety quite as much. You get more into a within meditative state. You just lose yourself in activities or do things where you're experiencing being nurtured and cared for. Your body and your mind and your emotions are all paying attention to everything you do or take in. So when you're doing all these things, you're just loving yourself more, you're doing more wellness, and you're creating more, peaceful, empowered neural networks in your brain. And you're going to strengthen them over time to continue this journey of taking time for yourself, to have a cup of tea or read a poem, or go walk, hiking, or, just different things. It could be sitting around gazing at the stars and the moon on the nights that the full moons come out or whatever. So these are ideas that you can choose from to go into your grapes worksheet, where you start picking what activities to do. For sure you want to get those. Now this worksheet was from the San Diego recovery class I got, creating your top 10 list of pleasurable activities. So you want to read this, think about things, and then have your top 10. So these are things you want to hit on the most. So when you're doing your daily grapes and a few days from now you want to change something up or whatever, it's like it's a no-brainer. You have a list already written out. You can look and go, oh yeah, I want to do number 8 because I haven't done that in a while. It's important to create this, to write it down, to have your top 10 list written down, because you need to know it and have it easy for you to continue repeating, doing these things. So then you can track your top 10, you can list them here, and then, track over a couple of weeks' time or however you want to do it. But you'll also see that as the more checks you have here, the more that fulcrum balances, and maybe even the wellness and happiness start really going up, and depression starts really going down. It's accumulative, it builds up, it's good in the moment. Keep on doing it. And then tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it. So I really wanted to pick this one as the last coloring sheet because